Let's talk about 5 heroic tools that I waited way too long to buy that have really saved my butt more times than I can count. These are tools that I didn't even want to buy because I didn't think they were needed or I thought they'd be too expensive. But now that I have them, if something happens and I don't have them anymore, I'm selling whatever thing I have to go out and replace them immediately. These are in no particular order. I thought I'd try to put them in an order 1 through 5, but they're all that important. I couldn't do it. So let's just start out with what's the most lightweight of them all. Okay, first thing, my Milwaukee 3/8 drive M12 Stubby impact wrench. This thing, man, I wanted one of these for years, but I never could make myself buy it. And finally, on an impulse buy that I regretted on the way home, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought this thing because they're expensive. But I tell you what, this thing right here gets more use than almost any power tool I have. It's small, it fits in between places. On my Dodge, I did a water pump and didn't even have to take the fan blade off with this thing. That's how compact it is. Now, I don't care what brand you buy. I was already in the Milwaukee system, so I got the Milwaukee. But the DeWalt or Makita or whatever color you decide, they're probably just as good. But yeah, get one of the current generation 3/8 drive Stubby impact wrenches, and you will never regret it the first time you have to use it. I think the current one has like 500 foot-pounds of torque. This is 250. I actually think that's probably pretty accurate. Extremely seldom I find something that this won't tackle. You know, big lug nuts. I've taken off leaf spring nuts with this thing. So yeah, definitely heroic in that regard. Next lightweight item is my Jesper portable lithium jump charger. And man, this is one of those things that I'd wanted to buy forever, but I just couldn't justify it, man. I kept telling myself I don't really need it. I've got jumper cables and I've got a battery charger. But man, this thing has been a game changer. And I'm going to post links to all of this in the description as well as the pinned comment. Now, I think they make several different sizes of these. This is kind of the most popular size. I guess I would call it the mid-size. They make one that's giant, and they make them that are all the way down to about the size of your cell phone. This one right here, I think, is probably the best size per output, I guess, and cost and everything like that. It will jump off a diesel engine. It'll jump off a diesel tractor, a 40 horsepower tractor, no problem. It doesn't last a whole lot of time, but if it's going to run, this will crank it over long enough to get it started. The four-wheelers I've had that are dead, the generators that I've just let them sit too long and the batteries have gone dead on it. My welding machine, this thing right here has just become worth its weight in gold. And leaving it in the car, it's got your ports on there, so I use it to charge my phone and stuff like that too. But yeah, if something happens to this, I'm immediately going out and replacing it with another one. And I don't have any reason to not go back with the Jesper brand. I've had pretty good luck with that. Next on the list, now we're getting into stuff that's a little heavier. And that would be my little portable suitcase gas generator. I have the Honda 1000. However, if I could buy it again, I would not get this. I would get the 2000 because it's just a couple $100 more, uses the same amount of fuel, weighs like 5 pounds more, and you get 1,000 extra watts out of it. Now, my granddad had one of the ones from Harbor Freight, one of the Predators, the 2000s, and I wouldn't feel bad if I had that instead. As a matter of fact, if this one dies, I'd probably buy one of the 2,000-watt Predators to replace it. This thing right here has been abused quite often. If the power goes out, it'll run the refrigerator and a freezer and stuff like that. It'll run a small air compressor. Not a big one, but a small one. It'll run that just fine. Going camping, this thing doesn't take up any space. It weighs nothing. You can just run regular lights. And this thing is quieter than a window unit air conditioner. You'd be surprised how much this thing gets used. And it's nice to be able to just grab it. If somebody's power goes out and they need to keep their fridge going, this right here will ride in the passenger seat of the car. We have larger generators, but this thing right here for the portability of it and how useful it actually is, I just can't see myself living life without another one of these suitcase style generators that I can carry around with one hand. All right, up next, one of these small portable air compressors. This one came from Harbor Freight. It's their Fortress brand, which is their better brand. And yes, a big shop air compressor is going to do better for shop use. But once again, we're at the ease of portability of this thing. I can carry this around and air up a tire right quick. I can throw it in the bed of the truck and take it with me somewhere. It doesn't hardly use any wattage. That little generator I showed you earlier, it'll run this just fine. I wasn't wanting to buy this because I had a bigger air compressor, your normal shop air compressor, and I just didn't think it was needed. But man, this thing, I don't even turn my bigger air compressor on anymore. This thing right here does everything I need. Definitely look at getting you one of these style or one of the pancake style portable air compressors, and get the one that has the ultra quiet motor and the fast fill. It's worth every dollar. And I do recommend the Fortress from Harbor Freight. I've had this thing for 3 years. It stays plugged in all the time. I don't ever unplug it, so it's constantly cycling because, you know, my air fittings leak and stuff like that. We just haven't had any trouble with it. It runs great. Okay, for my next item, it's going to be a 2-for-1. I said this was 5 items, but it's my channel. I make the rules. So I didn't think I needed either one of these. A small dual voltage 110 or 220 plasma cutter and a small dual voltage 110, 220 welding machine. I wasn't going to buy one of these. I had the big engine driven welder, and I thought that that's going to do everything I need. I don't need one of those little dinky welders because I've got this good one. Well, what happens? It's parked way out behind the house. It makes all kinds of noise. It sits on a trailer, so you got to move it around. And because of all of that, the project or the simple fix just doesn't get done. The simple idea that you had that make your life 1,000 times easier, it doesn't get done. Whenever it's a blizzard outside or it's 110 degrees outside, it doesn't get done. But with these little welders, I don't even use my big welder anymore, but it doesn't get used. This is the Best Arc 145. I've had several of these. After you get a YouTube channel, you just wind up getting the stuff in the mail once every 3 months or so. And I've had from several different brands. I have not noticed any difference in the Amazon brand welders or plasma cutters from any brand. You know, your budget import models, they all run the same. Get one that'll run stick, and this will burn 532 rods. It struggles a little bit with a 7018, but it'll burn them. On 110, you can burn a 332nd rod of just about any choice. The MIG gun works great. I don't ever run MIG. I normally just run flux core because it's so easy to just take that thing and do a little quick repair right fast. Then we talk about the plasma cutters. I've got a whole bunch of these too. They all perform about the same. What the differences is your settings and stuff. Here's one from another brand. Silatu. I've never heard of them, but it runs just fine. This one has the settings to make it easier to cut expanded metal and stuff, like so it doesn't keep putting your pilot art out. Just little different menus and things like that. This is a little bit more feature packed. This one's simple. You turn it on, you set your amps, a manual regulator for your air compressor, and that's it. You just go to cutting. While some people may like the extra features, I see the simplicity and the lack of features in this one as more of a feature and not a bug. So this thing has kind of become my favorite one so far. But you can get any of these that I've shown you for well under $200. That blows my mind. I remember having to spend $1,500 or $2,000 to get a decent plasma cutter. And I don't have any problem with this one. If I was using it for a full-time job, I might buy a better one. Same with this. I have used and abused the crap out of this one and 3 other brands. I don't care what brand you buy. I'll post some links if you just want one, but they all work great. They do everything I need. Just blows my mind that we've got the cost to manufacture technology down enough to make these sub $200 welders and sub $200 plasma cutters actually work. There is my list of the tools that I didn't want to buy, and I waited way too long. Don't make the same mistake I did. When you get a chance, go ahead and pick one of each of these up and save yourself the headache. Well, until next time, hey, you guys be safe.